Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for being here. Please say hello in the chat so I know who's watching. Genuinely, my favorite part of these live streams is like interacting with you guys in real time. So please say hi in the comments. I'm checking them. If we don't know each other already, my name's Mariah Althoff. So my background is I started off as a graphic designer 10 years ago. I started freelancing, grew a small online design agency, and at the same time, accidentally grew a following online because I was determined to not have to go do any in-person networking. And so I made it my mission to get really good at content creation in a lot of different formats over the last decade so that clients could find me rather than me going to find them. I don't want to do that. And I don't want you to have to do that either. My whole mission is to help you guys make content that works hard so that you don't have to, because you shouldn't have to be a full-time content creator if you don't want to be, in addition to running some sort of creative business, right? So all that to say, over the last 3 or so years, I definitely stepped far more into teaching content creation, helping people grow their online visibility, helping freelancers grow their businesses on the internet specifically. And that's what's led me here, where we are doing a 7-week series. This is week 6 of how to take just one piece of content, but multiply it into several different pieces of content. So I like the way you're thinking. Yeah, see, Bree gets it. So I don't want you to have to spend a bajillion years creating content, which is why each week in this series, we are taking one thing and then stretching that piece of content as far as we can. So this week we are creating a lead magnet and then creating Instagram posts promoting said lead magnet, because while for the last 5 weeks prior, we've been creating tons of content that is designed very strategically and thoughtfully. But if you're not taking your warm leads from social media and putting them onto an email list, you're missing out on so much potential income. So I want to talk to you about what is best practices when creating a lead magnet, and then how do we promote it online. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. And we can just get right into it, because quite frankly, I actually have so many things to show you today. And do I think we'll get to them all? I honestly don't know. But we're sure going to try, because that's showbiz, baby. So, alrighty. So the freebie that I want to be creating today, it's called the Client Attraction Starter Kit. And this is actually a new freebie that I'm launching next week, when I finally launch my new website, which is taking forever. But I have a couple different newsletter opt-ins, and I'm testing out to see which one people are really resonating with. And this is more of a PDF download that people can have. So right now I already have a 10-minute workshop case study type opt-in. Now I want more of a PDF download, and Adobe Express is perfect for something like this. So let's go ahead and get started. I already went in and favorited some of my favorite just designs that we could kind of manipulate into this PDF download. I think I might go with this one because it's the cleanest, although this one does have a lot of different layouts. So maybe this would be, I think this is too much. This is nice, but I don't need that much. And let's see what this one is. If you can't tell already, I'm just hovering over these templates and they swipe through the pages, which is really helpful. Okay, yeah, we're just going to go with this one and really make it our own. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to get rid of this line because I don't need that. Oh, I actually didn't even realize that this was literally about mastering content creation. That's funny. I was just picking it for the design. Okay. You know what we're going to do first, and let's just see what happens. This can be a really helpful tool in Express where if you go into your brand kit, you can just hit apply brand and it'll kind of do its thing. I'm going to change this photo anyway, so I don't really need that to be here. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to start by actually putting in the correct title. The Client Attraction Starter Kit. I want to tighten up the line spacing for all of it. Why is it just doing... There we go. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to put like the little tagline here. So I'm going to say like, stop chasing clients and start attracting them with this content that, not this content, with just content that actually converts. All right, let's reformat. I likely am going to redesign a lot of this, but just having a template to start with can be really helpful because starting with a blank page can just sometimes hurt my brain. Who's with me? And again, we're using Express to not think as hard, right? It does the hard work for us, and that's why we love it. Okay. Great. That is my brand color. We love that. Now, we're going to go ahead and delete this, although let's just replace it. Actually, upload from device, which, you know what? This would be a good one because then my little, but then we miss the phone. Okay. Which one do I want? That one could work. That could be fun. Let's see if this frames the way I want it to. Okay, that's kind of cute. I do want to change the colors up a little bit. What color do I want this to be? Maybe pink. That is my favorite color out of all of my brand colors. Or do I want to keep that the purple and turn this pink? That might be a crazy choice, but yep, that was a crazy choice. Let's do... All right, let's do this for now. And then I am going to pop in one of my little icons. So I have a bunch of just cute, fun icons that I use throughout my new branding. Let's do this for now. Do you see how helpful it is that it's all just uploaded in my brand kit already? I don't even have to like do anything to get it. Okay, I am gonna shrink this down. Let's make this a little bolder because it's hard to read. Okay. And then I am going to add, I do want it to like clearly be from me. So let's just add like a little bar down here with some text that just says like, by Mariah Altoff. Let's make sure people know where it came from, right? Okay, cute. that turned out great. I love the brand kit. Thanks, Brie. You were such a hype girl today. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's do page 2. So this is just going to be like a little introduction. So we can keep a lot of this the same. But let's once again go to brands, apply brand. Let's see what it does. So something it is doing, which is very fun and cool, is that it is adjusting the colors of the images to your, well, my brand colors, which is very fun. Obviously it chose the like off-white color for this option. But I'm going to switch out those photos anyway, so I don't care. Okay. Now, I do have this written out in a Google Doc already. So I do recommend you do that before. It's just going to make your life easier than like just trying to do it all inside Express. Okay. Do I want... shrink the line spacing just a tad. Oh, and you know what? I want to do... Where's my brand? Proxima Nova. Okay, that changes things. 12 it is. Okay. Now let's replace this with... a few more brand photos. And you know what? I actually don't want it to be grayscale because my brand is like very fun and colorful. So while that is cool, I don't want it. And you know what? I might get rid of this. I don't really want like this whole thing to just be like pictures of me. It feels kind of like the Mariah show and it doesn't need to be. So let's just bring this here. Okay, I'm into that. Is there anything else that needs to be on this page? I don't think so. Cool. All right, next page. I'm not going to have any type of table of contents. So while this is a nicely designed page, I think I'm going to delete it. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to delete all of this. But, well, no, I'll keep that. And I'm going to make this say foundations first, because what I want my people to do is, whoops, I really want them to nail their brand messaging and positioning first. And so this would be a good place to do it. All right, quick, let's replace this one more time. We'll do this one. And okay. Once again, I don't want this to be grayscale. Actually, maybe I do. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Now, honestly, I'm just going to copy and paste this over here. And we are going to copy this text. Okay. Now let's format this. I am going to make this a different font just so it stands out a little bit. Same with this. Where did I go? Here we go. What weight did I do? Bold. Great. Okay, now let's add bullet points. Easy. And then, oh geez, why is that happening when I copy and paste that? Okay. What I might do is add a new text box because that one's being a little weird. Let's just select, nope. Command A, copy. Let's see what happens. Okay, now this is doing what it's supposed to. I don't know what's going on with that, but alrighty. Let's see. Let's emphasize pro tip. Maybe make it italics so it stands out a bit. And this feels very empty. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to move this here. Okay, once again, this one's being weird too. But that's fine. And we can make this super long. Okay. And then what I might do here actually, do I want to colorize it or do I want to do duotone? Let's try duotone. Nope. We want to do this and this. Okay, that's kind of fun. All right, what size is this? Because I don't like 45. Let's make this 45 then too. Just have some consistency between the pages. Okay, great. So now we have 1, 2, 3. Now, these are going to be like our core pages. And honestly, maybe I'll just do one of the like middle pages and then move on to creating posts about it because I feel like you guys are catching what I'm putting down. What do I want to do here? Honestly, maybe I'll just do this layout over and over again. So essentially this freebie is going to be teaching my audience 3 of the 14 frameworks that I teach in my paid content. Well, really my paid tool. It's not even like a course. It's a tool for helping you create content that actually sells. So let's go ahead and paste this in. That's what we're going to do because I don't want to go in and reformat all of it. Let's copy the body text, paste, how it works. Copy, paste. Content example. Whoops. I guess let's just put all of this in here. And then format this to be realist, wide, bold. Format this to be realist, wide, bold. Now, something else I really want you to keep in mind when you're creating a freebie like this is I want you to pick like a really aligned audience pain point and solve it really clearly and simply. So like I guess, for example, my audience, they struggle to create content that actually like moves the needle in their business. They spend a lot of time creating content that just goes nowhere and like feels like they're speaking into the void, gets crickets, or it gets like tons of likes but not a single sale or inquiry or whatever. So this freebie is solving that very specific need, right? I also urge you to make it really easy to consume, because if people can't get like an easy to consume, quick, solid win from what you're giving them, they're gonna move on to the person who can. And I also want to make sure that whatever you're putting out as your freebie is really aligned with your paid offer. Don't make it something random. Like, have it be essentially like your top of funnel offer that is free, that then funnels them in to whatever you offer that is paid. So make it very relatable. Give them that really solid like first next step in the process, and then show them like, okay, here's how you can work with me now that you have this win, you know? So if you have any more questions about creating like effective lead magnets, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will answer them as we're designing. I think, all right, we're going to change this photo, and then I think we're going to move on to designing social media graphics so that we're not spending the full hour just designing this freebie, even though I'm actually very excited about it and think it looks really good. Okay, let's replace this. And this time I don't think I want me in it. Again, like I just don't need it to be the Mariah show. It's just like helpful for branding. So let's see. Let's put like, social media. Let's see what pops up. Okay. I want it to be a lot more like natural feeling. Like that one's nice. Is that what I want? Let's see. Also like a keyboard. That's always a good just like generic option. Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. Love it. Awesome. So essentially the other pages I'm putting in here are 2 more frameworks, and then the last page is just like a ready to go deeper, like here's how you can work with me, and like in it it's leading to my next paid offer, which is my click-worthy content system. And then it's like, or if you want my full brain in your business, like you can book a 90-minute intensive and we can like really flesh this out together. So those give 2 really easy ways for people to continue the process, but also behind the scenes, after they opt in and grab this freebie, I am sending them emails, giving them value, helping them even further, and also pitching my products, services, and offers like intermittently throughout those emails, right? So getting your audience off of social media into your email list and doing so with a free lead magnet like this is going to be really beneficial to your business. So, okay, now let's go ahead and start creating Instagram content for this, shall we? Let me just check the comments. We're good. Okay. So the first post I want to make is going to be a carousel post. Let's see. my stuff, favorites. I am always just perusing Adobe Express templates, looking for my favorites, seeing what's out there. And you can see I really liked a lot of the pet templates. We'll get to that. Don't you worry. But what do I want to use? You know what? I actually think I wanted to make my own template for this one because, let's see, custom size, width. Oh my gosh, 1080 by 1350. Is that right? Nailed it. Because I actually kind of want a template that matches, like, here, let me show you actually. That matches the holding slides that I made for this. I really like what I made. See, I make all of the thumbnails for these in here too. Like, I really like these. This is fun. It feels very me. It feels very on brand for my new branding. And I want to make a carousel, like, slideshow post that emulates this vibe. So what's actually really easy about Express is you can have two different tabs open, and like I could just go ahead and copy and paste all of this in here. What we do need to do is make the background color my orange. I'm gonna delete my face for now. Let's ungroup this. Ungroup. What's over here? Oh, I don't need this. All right, so this is going to be our cover image. And I do think I just want a couple of my fun little icons over here. Let's put this here. Probably gonna delete this and this for now. I can get it back if I want. This one too. Okay, so the first slide of every carousel post needs to be like really punchy and attention grabbing. It needs to really speak to something your ideal clients are going to resonate with, to get them to want to keep swiping. So, and specifically something that they resonate with that is in line with the freebie you're going to offer at the end that we just made, right? So I am going to put here, let's see. Well, first and foremost, I need a little bit. I need some like subheader text to start with. I'm going to say I was posting content every week, ... And we're going to change this to my realist wide. Let's make it bold again. Cool. Let's just make this like a little tighter. And then this is going to say, and getting nothing but crickets. Now, like I said, this is exactly what my ideal audience is struggling with all the time, and exactly why I made this freebie. So this is going to really stand out. I think what I'm going to do though is make this my fun pink color. And then I need to add like a little blurb here that essentially says, like, here's what I was doing wrong and how I fixed it. Right now, what's working really well when it comes to successful hooks on social media is having some sort of storytelling element be a part of it versus like, this could have been like a 3 tips to make sure your content doesn't get missed. You know what I mean? But that isn't exciting to people anymore. It's not hooking people. And instead, sharing your personal story, your personal journey is becoming far more attention grabbing. The last thing I do want to have on this slide is I personally like to have some sort of image of me when I can, because my audience does like really know my face. And I know that when my face does pop up on their feed, they are going to stop and watch. It's just making sure that that post actually shows up on their feed. That's the battle. I'm sure you can all relate. So, I like essentially giving people a reason to stop, because they'll be like, oh, this is Mariah's post. I really like her content. Let me stop and read it. So that's just a helpful little like thing I do to stop the scroll. If you're still in the like audience building phase, that is probably not as necessary for you, but it can be useful just getting people to associate your face with your content. So I do a lot of like reels and talking content, so people just see my face a lot, especially when they first start following me. So I like to have me on the cover when I can. All right, we're going to add a page, same size. I'm going to check the comments. We're good. Cool. All right. Now this is the slide where I kind of want to put it all together. Honestly, I should have just duplicated this, but it's fine. We're going to copy it all. Paste, background color, orange. Cool. Slide 2. So now we really want to hone in on this point. I want to relate to my audience. Like turns out I was making, the same mistakes most freelancers make when they start trying to turn content into clients. And I want to say, like, if you're doing these two, let's fix them. So I'm inviting them to like, here's the solution. I've been there. I see you. I understand where you're coming from. Okay. And this is just going to be that. Although I might add a little doodad. Let's do that really quick. This guy. Just to add a little flair. Okay, let's duplicate this and keep going. Now, I want to really point out some mistakes they're making. So, you're selling skills, not the solution. Okay. And people are going to be like, okay, what does that mean? So now I need to elaborate. Let's copy this text. And we are going to say, I design logos. Cool. So do a million other people. What problem are you solving? The real sale is in the outcome, not the deliverables. So here we're already like changing someone's, hold on, I don't want a full, space in between. Let's adjust paragraph spacing to 20. Okay, and let's do medium. And then let's do medium italics for what people like. I design logos. Great. Okay. Duplicate. And see, what's really nice about this too is that now I can use this as my own template, and I'm going to, like, over and over and over again. You do not need to reinvent the wheel, especially when it comes to carousel posts like this. Oh shoot, hold on. I need to type it because I want it to be all caps. You're teaching too much. This used to be me. Like, I overtaught online so hard to the point that, like, nobody wanted to buy from me because they're like, I just get all of your content for free, but then they don't implement it well because I can only give away so much in, 60 seconds of content. So anyways, over teaching is not showing your credibility. It's actually just training your audience that they don't need you, even though, like, while that might be true for some people, there are several people that are going to want to dig deeper, and it's really hard to do that if you're just giving away tips and tricks here and there rather than, like, giving them the full, like, you're giving them snacks online and you want to give them a full meal, right? But they have to buy the full meal because that's going to take a lot of work for you. But if they're just having a snack here and a snack here and a snack here, they're not going to be able to, like, implement it to its fullest extent because they're just, like, piecing it all together randomly, and it's just not going to work. So while you can give value, don't overteach in your content. That's a mistake a lot of people are making, and it's one that I made for years. So, okay. And as you can see, like, I'm just essentially in all of these slides calling out mistakes they're making, right? You sound like everyone else. Okay. I'm going to say, and I'm putting the, like, mistake that they're making in the biggest, boldest text so that they can be like, oh, yikes, that is me. And then they'll want to read more. Okay, need a brand that stands out. Medium, italic. Okay, and then one more. We're going to say, so what actually works? This is where we're starting to transition into, like, pitching your free product. Okay. We're gonna say, whoops. Here we go. Content that's clear. Content that creates the demand. And content that makes your audience say, wait, I need this. Okay. And so now people are like, okay, yeah, that's exactly what I need. But how do I do that? Oh, okay. And then this is going to be a really simple slide where I'm just going to say, that's what happens when you use frameworks rooted in buyer. Okay, you know what? This is getting a little crazy. So we're just going to say rooted in buyer psychology. And instead we'll grab this, put it up here, and say, that's what happens when you use, do I want to have it all be in one line like that? I don't think so. Okay. And now people are like, great, how do I find frameworks that are rooted in buyer psychology? And now we're bringing it back to my personal story. Whoopsies. Sorry, I just pulled up the wrong thing. I think I want to put this text in this font. These are the exact 3 frameworks I use to generate 10K in client sales from content alone. And that's real. Like, don't just make up claims. And I'm giving it to you for free. Okay. Now this last one is where we say, like, I'm going to say the client attraction starter kit. Download for free. Then let's grab this text and say comment client. I don't want this all in caps. Comment client, and I'll send you the link. Okay, perfect. So now we have a carousel post rooted in buyer psychology so that people want to download this freebie that I'm offering them. That's going to give them a ton of value right off the bat. And then if they're like, this is rocking my world, I'm showing them how else they can work with me in a very low price point option, like anywhere below $50 up to like a $500 offer, right? So I'm giving them options, but I'm also helping them solve a really specific need, and giving them a freebie that is actually helpful and not just fluff. There's a lot of freebies that are not great. So make sure you're solving a legitimate problem that speaks specifically to your audience, right? Okay. Now I want to create an Instagram reel where, once again, I'm going to be, let's see, which B-roll do I want? The text overlay is going to say, you don't need more followers, you need content that speaks to the right ones. So I think all right, so this is essentially just me setting up. I'm going to do this one. It has the most like dynamic vibe. It is 1 minute and 22 seconds long. We don't need that. We need like 10 seconds. Okay. Let's find I'm going to do it with it on. So that's more interesting. Okay, let's split it here. So I'm essentially just like finding some interesting, this is what I want, sections where like there's movement. Okay, let's stop it here. The more movement you can have in your B-roll, the more attention grabbing and interesting it's going to be. And I just want, honestly, 7 seconds is probably great. But we'll clip here. Okay. So this is 9 seconds. I think I'm going to clip this down too. This one feels a little boring. Okay, 8 seconds. Great. We love that. Now let's add our text. Oh, and something I do want to make sure we do too is we don't want volume on any of this. I should have just done that before I chopped up this clip, but here we are. So, okay. Mainly because I will essentially then just take this reel and pair it with audio in Instagram already, right? Okay. Cool. Something else I'm considering doing is adding like essentially like a color overlay so that I'm gonna have to do that on all of them, huh? Okay, that's fine. Okay, and we can change the opacity to multiply. Okay, I actually like that. So now we got to put it on all of them. Paste. Okay. Now, let's add text. We're going to say, you don't need more followers. And with this one, I'm not even going to necessarily call it out in the post itself. What I'm gonna do is call out the freebie in the caption. So the point of this is to like essentially combat a belief that they have that isn't necessarily correct. Okay, we're gonna have to, I should have added the text before I split up all these clips, but that's fine. We're all here to learn, and I'm just making it very educational. Okay, paste. All right, we're going to paste this here, but this is where it's going to say you need content that speaks to the right ones. And then we'll add animations and stuff shortly. Okay, let's put it here. Let's put it here. Okay, let's just make sure that that all looks okay. Okay, cool. Now what I'm going to do is add an animation where it like does something interesting to come in. Okay, I think I like grow. And then for this one, I want an out. Maybe we'll do a drop and then this one, have this one drop in. Okay, let's try this. Oh no, it's loading. Okay. Okay, cute. Now, the only thing I want to add is in my brand kit. I think I want to put this guy in here. Just want to like add a little bit of like a fun branded element. Let's make it even smaller. Do we like that? Yeah. Okay. And let's see, for in, I'll have this pop and I'll have it be a few seconds after. Okay. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that animation first because I want it on all of these. What do I want here? Maybe the little caption or comment icon. Blue? Okay, yeah, I like that. All right, now let's paste that onto all of them. All right, let's just start. Okay, so this one accidentally had that same intro, and we don't want that because it already had the intro here, and I also don't like it. So let's, oh, that's fun. Is it center? Yeah. Okay, let's watch. Okay, cool. All right, so then in the caption is where I'm going to put like, you can grab my free client attraction starter kit that's going to help you actually speak to the audience that's ready to buy from you. A lot of people assume that they just need like a bajillion followers in order to make money from their content, and that's actually so far from the truth. I make all of my money from my online presence, and my primary platform is Instagram, where I have 8,000 followers. So I don't have 100,000 followers. I actually have friends with 100,000 followers that don't make money from their online presence. So it really is not about your followers. It's solely about your messaging and like your strategy behind the content you're creating. So, okay. Last but not least, oh, we have 5 minutes. Cool. I was going to make some Instagram story slides. So let's start that. Once again, we're going to my stuff, favorites, and we're going to use one of these fun pet posts. I don't know who made all of these big tails, bigger savings graphics, but I love them. This feels like me. I wish I could keep the dog on here. I don't think that's relevant to my brand, unfortunately, but really into all of this. So let's start. I'm going to get rid of this, and unfortunately, the dog has to go. I'm very sad about that, but okay. Now here I'm going to make a poll. So having some sort of like the first slide of your Instagram stories, if it can be something that's like interactive, that is going to be so helpful for your engagement. Are you posting? I want default ... And also this has to be but still not getting clients. And essentially I'll have a little like poll section here, and people can say like, yep, that's me. Like, I think it's working, or like, I don't know what I'm doing. Help me, Mariah. And then we're going to add a page, same size. Should have duplicated it. I didn't. It's okay. Also, let's change the background color to match my brand colors. Then I'm going to have a slide that says like, here's what freelancers are doing wrong. And then honestly, to make it look a little more native to the platform, I'm going to use the actual Instagram like story platform backend you know what I mean, to like type out what they're doing wrong. But I'm essentially going to say like they're posting to prove that they're good at what they do instead of posting to show why clients need them right now. So raise your hand if you're guilty of that, because I sure was. All right, let's duplicate one more. I'm going to say your audience doesn't need more tips. And I'm going to say maybe with this, they need clarity. Confidence and connection. Okay. Let's center that. Stick it here. And then on something like this, I would probably add like a slider emoji or something to get people excited. And then last but not least, this slide would essentially be like, I'll say like, that's why I created, sorry, that's going to bother me. Up here, I'm going to say like, the client attraction starter kit. Okay. And then I would probably use the Instagram editor to like add a little bit more text about it with a link to grab it. So, okay. We did it. Wow. I really thought we wouldn't get to all of this, but we did. So, okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please come say hi to me on Instagram. I would love to see you. And come back next week for my final stream of this series. We're talking about turning client FAQs into high converting Instagram content. So I'll see you there. Thanks, guys.